You know that feeling when you hear something new, but it just feels, well, too familiar.
Uh-huh.
My heart definitely sank a bit when the news about another COVID variant started going around. NB.1.8.1.
Yeah,
It's that, oh no, not again sort of reaction, right?
absolutely. I think after everything, any mention of a new variant, it just makes you feel a bit uneasy.
Definitely.
So for this deep dive, we're going to look at what the latest news reports and the data from health organizations are telling us about this NB.1.8.1.
Okay.
And the idea is, to understand what's actually causing the concern, but without stirring up unnecessary panic. Just get you some clarity, some practical info.
Right, cutting through the noise. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Where did this MB1.8.1 first pop up?
Well, the initial reports, they indicate it was first detected over in China.
Okay, China.
And what really got international attention were some trends they were seeing there in their health data.
What kind of trends, like, that specifically tipped people off?
So we saw, or rather, the reports showed a pretty significant increase in the proportion of severely ill respiratory patients who were testing positive for COVID.
Okay.
Over just the past month, that number apparently went from about 3.3% up to 6.3%.
Wow, that's quite a jump.
Yeah. And at the same time, hospitals there were reporting a big increase in COVID-positive patients coming into the ER. That went from 7.5% up to 16.2%.
16%. So
Yeah.
nearly double, or more than double in some cases.
Exactly. And this data seems to come from their genomic surveillance matching up with the hospitalization numbers.
Yeah.
Seeing more NB.1.8.1 sequences alongside these hospital trends.
That sounds like real pressure on their system. And it wasn't just one report, was it? Or one area?
No, not just an isolated thing. Taiwan also reported a really concerning spike, something like a 78% increase in COVID-related ER visits.
78%. In how long?
In just 1 week.
Wow. Okay, that kind of rapid surge. Yeah, that definitely makes you pay attention.
Absolutely. Especially across different regions like that.
So it seems like it maybe started or was first noticed strongly in Asia, but I'm guessing it didn't stay there.
You're right. It hasn't stayed geographically contained. NB.1.8.1 has already been detected outside Asia. The CDC here has confirmed it's shown up in several U.S. states.
Which states are we talking about?
Let's see, California, Washington, Virginia, New York City, Hawaii, Rhode Island, and Ohio.
Okay, that's pretty spread out already. Coast to coast, basically.
It is.
Were these cases linked or random?
Well, the cases they identified here in the U.S. were found in international travelers.
Oh.
When what's interesting, maybe a bit concerning too, is where these travelers were coming from. It wasn't just one place.
Right.
They arrived from 9 different countries, Japan, Vietnam, South Korea, Thailand, France, Spain, among others.
9 countries. Wow. Okay, so that really suggests it's circulating more broadly than just, 1 or 2 hotspots.
Exactly. It points towards a wider spread already happening.
Okay, so it's crossing borders. We're seeing these jumps in hospital visits in some places. Now, the big question, I think, for you listening is why? Why this specific concern about this variant? Is it just that it's spreading?
Well, the rapid spread is definitely a big part of it. Preliminary findings are suggesting that NB.1.8.1 might be more infectious, more transmissible than the strains that have been dominant recently, mostly those Omicron sublineages.
Right.
And if a variant spreads more easily, even if it's not inherently more severe, you can still end up with more hospitalizations just because so many more people get infected overall.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. The numbers game. Higher infection rate, even with the same severity percentage, still means more people getting seriously sick.
Precisely. And the fact that we're already seeing these spikes in hospitalizations in several countries, that's a serious flag. It suggests it's not just, a rise in sniffles. Plus, some early genomic work points to specific changes in the spike protein. Mutations that, in other variants, have sometimes been linked to binding more easily to our cells' ACE2 receptors.
Could it explain it spreading faster?
Potentially, yeah. That's one possible mechanism for the increased transmissibility they suspect.
Okay. And then the other massive question, the one probably everyone's thinking, what about vaccines? Treatments, our defenses, are they going to hold up against this one?
That is the critical question, isn't it? And honestly, that's what researchers are scrambling to figure out right now. We don't have hard answers just yet.
So uncertainty there.
Yes. But The potential for our current vaccines and treatments to be less effective, that's obviously a major concern.
Right, because if our tools are less effective...
Then health authorities might need to rethink things, maybe adjust containment strategies, especially, to protect people who are most vulnerable.
Okay, so there's still a lot being investigated about how well we're protected. That makes sense. But what can people do? What can you do listening now? We can't exactly, stop a virus from mutating.
No, you're right. Individuals can't control viral evolution. But there are definitely proactive things you can do. First, and this is maybe the most important, stay informed.
Right.
Keep checking for updates, but make sure it's from reliable sources like the CDC, the WHO. They'll have the most current vetted information as it comes out.
Good advice. Avoid the speculation, stick to the official sources. What else? What about day-to-day stuff?
Well, all those safety measures we learned, maybe got a bit tired of, they're still really relevant.
Like masking, hand washing.
Exactly. Wearing a good quality mask, especially if you're in a crowded indoor place, good hand hygiene, washing or sanitizing, and maybe thinking twice about really crowded, poorly ventilated indoor spots. These things still reduce your risk, whatever variant is going around.
Back to basics then. It's easy to let those habits slide, I guess.
It is, but they do make a difference.
And what if someone does get sick, like really sick?
If you develop severe respiratory symptoms, definitely seek medical attention quickly, getting checked out early, getting the right care. That can really help.
Okay. And vaccinations, we always hear stay up to date. Does that still apply here, even with a new variant?
Absolutely, yes. Even though we're still working out the specific effectiveness against NB.1.8.1, being up to date on your vaccinations and boosters, it's still very likely to give you significant protection against getting seriously ill or needing hospitalization.
So it strengthens your overall defense.
Exactly. It's about having the strongest possible immune response ready.
Okay, so the main takeaways seem to be stay informed from good sources, keep up those basic safety habits, get help if you get significant symptoms, and make sure you're up to date on vaccines.
That sums it up pretty well.
It sounds like, informed vigilance is the way to go, not panic.
Precisely. The situation definitely needs careful watching, and we need to be proactive, but yeah, no need for alarm bells just yet. Researchers worldwide are really digging into this to understand the full picture of NB.1.8.1.
This whole thing, the rapid international spread you mentioned, travelers from 9 countries.
Yeah.
It really just highlights how connected everything is, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. A variant anywhere can become a concern everywhere really fast.
Yeah.
And that kind of brings us to a final thought, maybe something for you to chew on.
Okay.
Given this interconnectedness we've just seen, with the variant spreading so quickly internationally, and thinking about how important it is to share data quickly and coordinate responses, what do you think is the most critical piece of our global public health infrastructure that we need to focus on moving forward?